What's good,
My
man?
people, my people, my people.
How's the
Yo,
day?
Eric, you can hear me?
I can hear you, man. How's the day?
Oh man, everything is everything, man. Be so much crazy shit going on. My phone be ringing off the hook these days, bro. It's like, damn. So like, I don't be meaning to not answer, but every time you call, I'm either doing something or on the phone or filming. Shit be crazy for your boy these days.
No harm, no foul. I understand, bro. Busy is what we want, man. That's where hustling is part of life.
Absolutely. What's new in your world, man? I got the Eric on the live.
Man, I'm just fresh off a nice trip to Cape Town. I'd gone down with the wife. That was amazing. Got to relax a little. But back in the city now, just trying to get things done. Just
What's
watching what.
up? What's up, my people? My people, my people. How y'all feeling, man? We got every other time with Eric on the live today.
In the building, man.
Africa is safe for all races. Africa is safe for everybody. Come in peace, and you will be treated with peace.
Absolutely, man.
High vibrations for show TV. You next on my list tonight for show. I got to get you on there with the Eric, man. We gotta drive some traffic your way.
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, so look, hit the like button, share the live. If y'all get the likes up, Eric a busy guy. The man a pilot, he a husband, he an entrepreneur. You feel me? Y'all know I be doing all kind of shit. You feel me? So the way y'all complain about me not responding, Eric don't ever complain.
Yeah.
He just keep hitting the phone until I pick up. You feel me? Because Eric knows shit. He know things that be going on that nobody else don't know. You feel me? So thank y'all for tuning in. Good to see y'all. Shout out to Angie from Pennsylvania. They say Eric look like an African mace.
It is what.
Hey. I think Eric might have some bars too, y'all.
But
He real clever.
Big Homie's been holding it down, man, in Africa, man, with all just keeping women safe, following up on the less fortunate, bro. It's been amazing what you've been able to do here in Africa, bro.
Man, bro, it mean a lot, especially coming from you. You feel me? Because I'm here in your land. You know what I'm saying? The way you embrace me, the way the people have embraced me, I'm forever humbled. I'm forever grateful. I'm just glad I was able to experience this, and I'm glad that I was able to link up with you. We was able to work, and they love us. You feel me? They love us. I can't be more grateful than that. You feel me? Anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, man, it's an honor and privilege to be here with the Big Homie, man. Big Homie is a busy guy. It's a challenge to get him on the phone. He's always up and about doing his thing, man. Busy guy, but when we make time, we make magic. Whenever we get to meet up, we make magic. Guys, hit the live.
Your sound going in and out.
Can you hear me now? Is it okay now?
We back. What's the most majestic part of Africa? Ethiopia, Gonzalo Zion? I'm gonna let Eric answer that.
Yo, I'm gonna have to be a bit biased with that because I'm fast. Yeah, man, we have wildlife. We are the Nairobi, where we are the only city that has a national park inside the city where you can see
Facts.
elephants, rhinos, the works. It's a beautiful, beautiful.
All right, so we're gonna do a live Q&A. Anybody got questions for myself or for Eric? You feel me? We here. So I seen a question. Who got the best food in Africa? All right, hold on. Africa is not a country, it's a continent. There are a lot of countries on this continent. So to say who got the best food, I will say this. I have been to a lot of countries. Only one country have I been to where every place I ordered from was fire. Even when I got to Eric's house, his wife, shout out to Dotsa, she put together a spread, a legendary spread. You know, I gotta say Kenya, man. I gotta say Kenya. They saying your sound going in and out, Eric. I gotta say Kenya because Kenyans have a special way of putting their own flavor on any and everything.
Yes, sir.
So, and I've been to Nigeria, I've been to Ghana, I've been to Ethiopia, I've been to Eritrea, I've been to Tanzania. Kenya is the place I felt the most free, the most at home. And, it shows when I show up to these restaurants because, I'm going to say this. Kenyan people are the most low key, laid back people until it comes to something that they proud of. One thing they proud about is that food. Now listen, I was in London for a month. I
Yeah.
had to carry my own salt, pepper, garlic with me. I got to Kenya. So look, I was in London. I tried a Jamaican place. I'm like, man, this is just not it. Boy, I got to Kenya. I ordered from certain restaurants. I stopped cooking completely because every time I order, it's a nuclear bomb. You feel me? So look, I'm gonna let Eric answer what's his top 5 places to eat outside of at home because Dasa do her thing. You
was,
feel me? Y'all see me and my Kenyan brother ain't missing no meals. You feel me? So I'm gonna let Eric tell y'all his top 5 spots to eat in Nairobi.
well, I was gonna start, of course, with my wife, but you said that's out. That has to be out of the way because that's biased. So I'm gonna give my home food.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
So, uh, let me think about this. There's quite a variety. Are we talking restaurant? Are we talking like
We
fast
we
food?
talking restaurants for somebody who coming to visit. They don't have that home food option. Somebody who in town, they want to experience, they want to get that real flavor.
Okay, so there's a famous fish spot called Mama Oye. Like, it,
Ooh, your sound still going in and out.
I don't know what's that about. Let me see.
You got your charger plugged in?
Nah,
Okay, all right. We gonna push through.
it's called. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Tony. Thank you for the super chat. That $2 is gonna go towards to sending some kids to school and feeding some families. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tony. So I'll say this, man. There's a place called Mama Olieches. It's a
Ooh. It's still no sound, no sound.
I wonder why. I wonder.
You on the Wi-Fi?
Yes, I'm on Wi-Fi. Should I be on data?
You might want to go data.
I'm on data now. Is it better?
Let's go. Here we go.
Yes. So yeah, I was saying it's a place called Mama Olieches. They serve Kenyan style fish, ugali, and some greens, man. Natural, amazing taste. Cost you about $10 with a drink, maybe.
Now that,
Amazing.
yup, yup, yup.
You put some nice chili on it. Oh, we outside.
Now look, he said ugali. Now ugali is a Kenyan staple. In America we used to fufu from the Nigerians. It's real soft. It looked like mashed potatoes, But ugali a game changer. You feel me? Because when I get that kale greens, they cook that with that ugali. I get that with some, or I get that with some rice. It's going down. It's going down.
But ask, have you and tell them what pilau is, man.
I done had beef pilau, mutton pilau, chicken pilau, every type of pilau I done had it here in Mombasa. You feel me? And you know, where we come from, we don't get pilau unless we go to the Indians.
Mm.
So it really
So,
helped. Go ahead, bro.
so the origin of pilau actually. So Kenya used to, back in the day, we used to trade with the Arabs at the coast. So when they
Oh,
came,
okay. All right, hold on, Eric. We got a $5 super chat. It
shout
says,
out to
"Ask Eric if the UN is still hurting the locals in Congo over gold."
yo. So that's an interesting one. The airline I work for and I fly for, we used to fly into Congo, specifically a city called Goma, and I did the last flight into Goma just before it broke out. That was about to go. And so much foreign Congo.
Your sound back out. Your sound went out.
Oh, so I'm saying Congo. Can you hear me? Am I good now?
Yep.
Saying Congo is the most mineral-rich country. The Christians call it God's breadbasket, like because natural minerals. We're talking, we're talking dam, everything there. So foreign America, uh, they're consciously using the
Thank
UN
you.
to destabilize Congo, majority of the minerals, and of course, make wealth for themselves. So Congo has not had prolonged peace for the last like 25 years, man. Unfortunately.
So look,
If
I want to say this. People always ask me, are foreign countries oppressing the people? Foreign countries are only allowed into these countries by governing bodies because the natural African spirit is to resist. This is why in certain parts of Kenya there were certain tribes who were never colonized, and this is why till this day you have things called mob justice because these people will always resist. Thank you to all the people saying bless you. So look, it's allergy season here. It's about 80 degrees outside, and my body have never even experienced these allergens before. So I'm still getting adjusted to that. You feel me? Shout out to Demetrius. Hold on, we got a $10 super chat. Hold on. Much love, praying for you always. Miss Julie to you. Thank you so much, Queen. I really appreciate how y'all be having my back. I really appreciate how whenever y'all see me and Eric together, y'all in the comments standing on business. And obviously y'all sharing it to all y'all people because the most views I ever did on my channel is when it's me and Eric on the screen.
sir,
That means
yes,
a lot to me. And I see my boy got his shades on today, you feel me? Because, you know, in his studio, the lights is bright.
sir.
So, Miss Julie, thank you so much. All donations and super chats go toward helping the misfortunate, helping trafficking victims, send kids to school, feeding people, and to our channels so we can use our time outside of work to come and bring y'all this content, interact with the fans, our supporters, people who share a like mind. You know, it really means the most. Thank y'all.
Yes, yeah, I'm seeing someone has asked, someone has videos and pics of orbs and entities.
Okay.
It's about like, disclosure anytime. Have you been hearing about that?
I've been hearing about that. So here's the thing: when I did my very first interview on No Jumper, I I disclosed information about civilizations that pre-exist humanity that you can find their location on the ocean floor. After this, we seen Rear Admiral, two-star Admiral Tim Gallaudet come out and pretty much confirm everything that I was saying. So in my last interview with Eric, um, he put footage up about these orbs responding to people, showing up untimely. And if you want to see more on that, go check our most recent interview because it's very in depth on that topic for sure.
They're
Thank you to
saying
all the blessings.
they're saying there's machine football moving.
Say that again.
No, they were saying that they've seen movement the size of a football field under the ocean moving.
Moving at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, that is.
Now,
So
here's
how
the thing with this. If a country in Africa had that type of technology, that country would be ruling the entire continent. If Vladimir Putin had that in Russia, he would have wiped Ukraine off the face of the earth.
uh,
If China had this technology, they would have been taking Taiwan. They would be the world leader. This is why these conversations matter because disclosure is going to come from the people. It's never going to come from a death cult where people are making covenants with higher levels of intelligence in exchange for human life. This is why all across the world right now we see governments, countries who are at war because it seems as if there are people that are in power who have traded us out. They've sold us out. Um, there's a guy named Tucker Carlson who says that the United States government made deals with non-human intelligences in exchange for nuclear energy. The reason I refute that is because the Germans made our whole nuclear program, our rocket program. A lot more was exchanged than that. We went from the Model T Ford to completely electric powered vehicles in under 100 years. That would be impossible. Also, you got to understand something. Being here in Africa, it really shocked me because the things that they know to be real and they speak about often are often things that we look at as folklore, which, when I got here, mermaids, the Agagwe, night runners, people speak about night runners as if
right?
this is something as a prevalent, adequate threat, not something that's make believe. And Eric has an experience with a weird guy. I'm gonna let him talk that out. Explain that to y'all.
Oh man. So
Break it
there's
down.
there's this guy. We once had so I live in an estate, and we once had this kid was like a peeping tom. So peeping tom is basically like a perverted guy who always gets caught up trying to peep through people's windows.
And y'all know we don't play that. Y'all know we don't play that.
So there was this young boy, man, and the one night I busted him trying to peek into my window. So when I did my investigations, I'm finding out from neighbors and from the security around that, no, that guy is well known. Because by the time I went to report, they're like, it's so and so. So I'm like, so you guys know that this. So of course I raised alarm and eventually he got of the estate. And they were like, if you ever in here, it's gonna be a problem. Shortly after, I just started experiencing funny things around the house. And the interesting thing with this kid, every time before I knew he was a weirdo, his energy was just, you would see him and you just feel like this guy is not normal. And so many things started happening. I just started noticing weird stuff around the house. There are times I literally felt his presence. So I would even search the house at night when I'm locking up the house. I would just search to confirm he didn't sneak in because I was somewhere around the house. And again, I went outside, talked to neighbors, and everyone was saying that this guy, there was just something. abnormal spiritually around this kid. I haven't seen him since. I've certainly felt him, but yo, it's nothing that you can't pray against, bro. Like at some point when I was panicking, I'm like, yo, man, the Most High, that guy ain't got shit against the Most High. So
For
I just
sure, for sure.
and I felt people have gone early morning flight. So crazy stuff.
Now look, now Eric, you can always call me if things look a little out of control. I'll be there at one call. You feel me? Because I
Yeah,
know
man.
you got at the end of the day, I gotta always salute you because being in America, a lot of pilots that I meet will never, ever, ever say or speak about some of the things they see in the air due to the fact that, if they do, they won't pass their psych evals. Their co-workers will shun them and they'll lose their license. So the fact that you even speak about this stuff is another reason why when they see us, the numbers be big.
I can tell you some crazy stuff I've seen now airborne while in the air.
Tell us right
Especially,
now, bro.
especially flying from where you are right now back to Nairobi at night. Bro, some weird lights, unexplainable lights in the sky. And it's so funny. My colleagues are always very quick to like, nah, that's just, shooting star. I'm like, yo, that,
Like, come
that,
on now, come on now. You see the same thing I see.
that was not a shooting star for sure. That was something that we can't explain. Even the way it moved. A shooting star doesn't whiz in both directions, man. Like a shooting star goes one way. It doesn't move like this, then it's far, then it's close. So I'm like, either we have some crazy stuff happening with the Air Force and some trade or some military vibe, or these things are just out here just exploring Earth from other worlds. But no one wants to dare to say that it might be that because, like Big Homie said, these guys will take your medical license quick and say you're cuckoo, bro.
They'll say you crazy.
Absolutely, man.
So, I'm going to say this, right? There's a book called The Sphere Network by a guy named Patrick Jackson. Everybody needs to get a hold of that book because the same formations that we are seeing in the sky, there are petroglyphs from 3,000 years ago from these same exact images that our ancestors made cave paintings about. And a shooting star leaves a trail and it doesn't change points.
Absolutely.
It shoots past, then it's gone. A pilot is going to see it go in one direction, not stay there, not move from different points, and it won't leave that residual effect of light.
Let me
That's something we got to. So if you see something, say something.
let
Record
me
videos, send videos to me. I report on everything.
let me tell you before we just how captured, or rather how captured people are to wanting to do some of these things. Just saying earlier, colleague, we're flying, we're both looking, we see
For sure, for sure. So sound is out. Sound is out again.
oh, sorry, man. I hope it's back now.
All right, yeah, we back, we back.
Yeah,
All right, all right, all right. I see a question I want to respond to. Phil Snyder was murdered. Now, I'm not gonna say that I would agree with everything Phil Snyder was saying, but I do know that it's impossible for a man with the injuries that he had to inflict that type of damage on himself because his death was ruled a suicide. Now, Phil Snyder said that the species of graves that he encountered live underground. When scientists show up to indigenous tribes across the world and they show them an image of this grave, they always say the same thing. Oh, they have a name for these people and they say they live underground. Everybody needs to look up Credo Mutwa, Credomutwa. He's a legendary Zulu shaman and professor who speaks about this. I posted this in my Patreon. I'll make a link to it here on the YouTube as well so everybody can check it out. And I also need my moderators, if you have a wrench, to smoke all of the clowns in the comment section who think they bigger than the program. And since I got Eric here, I'm about to be in his studio in a short amount of time. But since I got him here, and y'all love the way that he run his show and he asks his questions, so we want to give y'all a sneak peek to our upcoming interview. So we at 83 likes. Get us to 100 likes, and we'll let Eric ask me 5 hard-hitting questions, and I'll give y'all an exclusive about something that I never spoke about. So y'all know the assignment. Thank y'all for support. Share the live. Get us to 100 likes, and we'll continue to demonstrate for y'all.
Okay. Absolutely.
The name is Credo Mutwa, Credomutwa. Fujitsu, salute to you. Thank y'all for all of the love that y'all. I can't stress this enough. Anytime. Go ahead, bro.
I see there 105 likes, man. Thank you guys. Thank you for doing that.
Already?
So I'm gonna ask one
All
question.
right, Eric. All right, Eric. You know what time it is. Come on with it. What you got? And I got some questions for you too.
I want to talk about crop circles, bro. Crop circle.
All right.
Why isn't crop circles a mainstream topic? Yet that been, of course, there's some fake, but ones are nothing like main.
Okay. Now, since I went to school for body language and to read lips, let me repeat the question because the sound went out. He wants to know is why are crop circles a mainstream topic? Of course, some of them are fake, but there are some that cannot be fake. And why are all of them different? Is that what you asked? Is that what you asked, bro? Okay. Here's the thing. When I was in London, I went to the actual crop circle museum in London. And as I was there, I realized that this phenomenon is something that needs to be taken serious. So, can everybody hear me loud and clear? Put a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Put a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Now listen. Here's the thing. All right, bet. Here's something very important everybody needs to know. Crop circles appear overnight and they happen in flashes. They happen very fast, they happen in flashes, they happen overnight. People report seeing weird lights, missing time, mutilated animals along with this process. Here's the thing though. Circles appear to be blueprints to build certain technology. There have been a group of guys who took these crop circles using AI and were able to turn them into blueprints to build something. The issue is It's an impossibility. It's an impossibility to manufacture these crop circles in the amount of time that it took, because most of them happen overnight in a flash. There have been groups of guys who using AI have been able to put these crop circles, and they put together a blueprint to build a type of technology. They've made prototypes of this technology, but they say, look, we don't have the tools, the manpower, or the budget to adequately build what these blueprints are for. It's almost as if there's somebody trying to send us signals in exchange for the destruction of the terrain. They want to send us signals on how to build something. One person has a theory that there's a group of people who are time travelers, and throughout this process, they're giving us bits and pieces on how to build technology so we can transcend. Here's the issue, though. It seems as if there is a missing gap in history, so where it seems like human beings have amnesia and we can't interpret everything. When you look up Credo Mutua, he speaks about a time where whoever edited DNA on our planet to make human beings, they gave us all different languages so we wouldn't be able to unite. In every origin story for religions, a higher grace made us to be some sort of a slave or worker race. Previously in history, in the Sumerian tablets, it says that human beings retaliated. We had a rebellion. If you want to stop a rebellion, you make sure they cannot communicate with each other.
Absolutely.
All of these things are connected. So to answer that question, there you have it right there. If you want, I went to the Crop Circle Museum that's in London. I was there. And when I got there, I realized, all right, all of the crops show signs of being manipulated by a highly electromagnetic force. Also, these same crop circles, these areas, test positive for low levels of radiation. I see somebody here talking about the Tartarian rain. I spoke to a young lady here in Mombasa. She said that they teach them about Tartaria in their school curriculum. I'm still working to verify that. I'm supposed to get my hands on some of the textbooks and literature throughout this week. If I get that, I'll make it live here.
You know, the Tartaria thing is something that has puzzled me, and just got to ask yourself some questions, right?
Right?
How is ancient to modern day? How? And for me, that therein lies, and I feel the gap of either some cataclysm event happened, and somehow it's been said erased or collective memory, but the evidence remains. When you look at some of old, and you look at no way that some of those things were handcuffed. There's no way. There's no way. That is for that organization to not, but to have left of them.
Now, to expound on that topic, there's a place called Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is a pyramid complex where no matter where you stand inside that complex, a person can speak from any location in that complex at normal tone and you can hear them. It seems as if there was some sort of a global consciousness that an ancient race was able to tap into that could transcend time and space. We also seen the Trump administration's space chief say that we have technology that can manipulate time and space.
Yes.
I believe all of these things are connected. So everyone's saying that we still working on Eric's sound. It's just a preliminary. I'm gonna be in studio live with Eric in less than 48 hours. You feel me? We're gonna touch on all of this in the interview. This is just a prelim. Dugar, we did pay for his lawyer. We hoping for the best. I'm not gonna say too much. He went on a retrieval by himself. Things went wrong. He ended up getting some charges. One charge was firing into an occupied vehicle, possession of a firearm, things along those nature. So we gonna keep that in mind. Shout
And
out Big Dugar, Free Dugar. God Almighty Israel lives. Shout out to God.
can I say some? Can I share something?
Yes, sir, bro.
I'm a believer in God, right?
Say that again.
I believe in God, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because of all the information that's out, sometimes you find yourself going question, questioning.
Your sound out again.
I don't know what's up with my sound. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I think every time I find myself in that mental space of questioning God, I get stuck in my life, bro.
Now look, I totally agree, bro. Because every time I strayed away from God, I have an experience that I can only attribute to that. That's the only way I can put it. Because what would you say, Tony? Resend your email again, BigHomieCC1 at Gmail. All right. So they say you might have to connect to the Wi-Fi again. So look, I'm gonna say this, Eric. What is your religion? Are you a religious person?
Well, I'm a Christian. Of Christian. Naturally, at some point in time, you start questioning things, and by the time now I've circled back to Christianity.
For sure.
When I didn't have Christianity in my life, I I mean, I was being successful in other. So every time I meet myself, God, I just it's easier because I'm a information freak. I
Shout out Ohio.
When you think about like the simulation theory, it seems possible, but it makes us. So I circle back to my Christian.
So look, your sound keep going in and out. Try to go out and come back in.
All right.
So look, I'm gonna say this, right? Who believes in the possibility that we may live in a city of simulation? Who believes in that? If you believe in that, put a thumbs up in the chat. Shout out Youngstown, Ohio. Love. All right. Okay. It seems that us here at Off the Grid, we a family, we a unit, we all have a similar mind state. I think we all have accepted certain things. What you have to accept also is that inside the simulation, these religions were installed. Because listen, man, I've been on demon time. I'm a real ghoul. I'm a real insane. I'm a real gangster. There were things that took place that the homies would come to me and say, Gordo, you saw that? What was that? Also, we have to accept that Bob Lazar, whistleblower, also came out and he said that there's a classified file about non-human intelligences giving humanity religion. So hypothetically, if Jesus is a genetically engineered, modified being, because he walked the earth, he was here. He walked the earth, he was here. That was installed in the simulation, as well as all of these different non-human intelligences. Let me say this. If you believe we are in a simulation, and if you believe when Bob Lazar said he's seen a classified file about religion being given to humanity by non-human intelligences, and they refer to us as containers of souls, and they gave us religion so we did not destroy ourselves. And the Catholic prayer is, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now unto the hour of our death. Amen. If you genetically modify a being to be born without a present father who can perform miracles, that would be installed into the simulation as well. Because here's something that's very, very, very prevalent to me. The most legendary remote viewer, his name is Joe McGonigal. Joe McGonigal, his name came up in declassified files from the CIA. He was given coordinates from 1,000,000 years ago on Mars at the location of some pyramids. He said that a group of them decided they were going to go to a nearby planet and reseed. The rest said they lived, they had their time, they were going to die on Mars. And the others said that they could not figure out how to get out. What were they trying to get out of?
Damn.
Probably the same thing we stuck in. Because here's something that I always think about. Because when you look at dinosaurs, the T-Rex was dead for 3 million years before Stegosaurus, the Velociraptor, before those species died. You see those little arms in front of the Velociraptors? They were highly advanced. They were the most advanced of that genus on this planet. If the stories about the native Terrans that Credo Mutua speaks about being reptilians and this whole hidden reptilian agenda, look at the Velociraptor. Look at their science, their nature, how they communicate. They have very complex communication. They operated in groups. They were able to dominate. If that species had 65 million years to evolve, eventually they would be in a hominid state. Okay, people saying dinosaurs are fake. Let me explain this to you. The whole idea that dinosaurs are fake because in every museum it's not the actual bones. I'm somebody who goes out and investigates everything. Whenever I see Bigfoot footprints, they were cast with plaster. Same thing for dinosaur bones. I live in Las Vegas. When I bought my house in Las Vegas, I wanted a swimming pool built. When they started digging the hole for the swimming pool, they found fossilized bones. I've seen these bones. That's not fake. If you are going to open up museums across the world, if the only copy of these bones you have is the physical copy in one location, you cannot monetize it.
Possible, yeah.
So we got to move away from the idea that everything is fake, because that's what the creators of this micro simulation that we live in want. They want us to think everything is fake so they can have their way with us. Because think about this. How is it possible that a country who prints its own currency can be 32 trillion in debt? You can literally print 32 trillion and pay off all the debt. So the people who saying that dinosaurs are fake, are you saying that our global deficit in our country, our debt is fake?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Putting my sound hold. Is my sound okay?
You good. You good. You clear.
Learn about how in 20 years we won't need.
It went out. It went out.
I feel like that's the beginning of a Terminator movie, bro. Because the person told them that allows people to just be and all industries to be taken over by AI will determine the universal basic income, whether it's got
Yes.
or a lot. So either end or or could end up in a utopia. People with power do not want people to have a utopia.
And let me tell you why. If you are doing deals with non-human intelligences who are promising you technology, wealth, fame, power, and control, in the scriptures it says, bring sacrifices to me, worship me, and we will do your bidding. In the book of Enoch, it speaks about fallen angels coming down, breeding with humans, giving us technology, etc., etc. It's a very old story. It's the same story. Linda Moulton Howe, a legendary UFO crop circle mutilation, cattle mutilation investigator, has a book out called Alien Harvest. The United States government, whistleblowers have come out and said that they have programs to monitor certain families that are hybrids that have connections to an elder race. Every demon, even Satan himself, is gender fluid.
Androgynous.
If you are a demon and you are influencing people, where are they getting this idea from by being gender fluid? Why would they force this on the masses, being in a position of power, if it's all just fake? In every ancient civilization that I've researched, the gods asked for human sacrifice. If they worship Moloch or Baal, they wanted child sacrifice. On Epstein Island, he built a temple with the owl out front. The god Moloch, the god of child sacrifice, he has a temple. And what did he go to jail for? Child trafficking. Also, we see high-ranking members in government say, "Oh, UFOs boil down to angels and demons." Fallen angels are listed everywhere. This is why I'm highly critical of the Islamic faith, because it took Muhammad 23 years to get one copy of the Quran when he was really a warlord before that with a 6-year-old wife. He said he was in a cave. Every time I investigate somebody meeting a jinn or a demon, they in a cave. He said he was in a cave. This creature appeared to him and almost killed him, choked him to death, slapped him, put hands and feet on him, and told him to read. An angel would know that this man is an illiterate man. He cannot read. A demon forced him to read. He couldn't read. He ran to his wife, Khadijah. Khadijah was the smart one. She's the one who helped him write the Quran. He had to go to a Christian man named Waraka. Waraka told him, "You may have encountered the angel Gabriel. The problem is that in the Christian text, in the Christian Bible, over 100 times when Gabriel revealed himself, he said, 'Fear not, for I am a servant of the Lord. I will not harm you. Fear not, I am a servant of God. I will not harm you.'" He did not say that to Muhammad. Now, mind you, Islam came 610 years after the ascendance of Christ into heaven.
Yeah.
Why would an angel bring a book that could contradicts the word of Christ and God? It just don't make sense.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Let me ask you this question, Eric. If you are even just being Eric, you done traveled from across the universe. Your job is to seed a people that's developing. Would you give an illiterate man the book of a religion to lead the world, a man who cannot read or write?
It doesn't make sense. It
It don't
wouldn't make.
add up.
Yeah.
So a question coming up is, why in the spheres does it look like an embryo? Because inside of that sphere, there is an actual sphere. Now look, this gonna hit hard. If you look at history, there used to be something called spontaneous human combustion. We have not seen it in a long time. Those spheres that we see have been very active ever since Oumuamua and Three Eye Atlas. If these spheres go back to the carbon dating that come from the Boogosphere, which goes back 12,500 years, if you go back to the petroglyphs on the wall showing that same three dot formation in the sky, that seems like a global defense system, because there's also footage that I posted on Patreon, and I'll share this in my next interview with Eric, of an asteroid coming into the Earth out of the atmosphere, another sphere showing up and changing the trajectory of this actual asteroid. Low end 275. Shout out to the whole low end $10 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to the whole city. Shout out to the crib. We working. Hold on. Let me
I
go
got.
ahead and give my boy his moderator wrench.
I
You a
gotta ask.
moderator. You want to be a moderator? You make a super chat. I got you. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
The ultimate problem shows up as this. In these texts, you often hear this term, "For I am a jealous God. Worship me. Bring me this. Bring me that." How can an all-seeing force be jealous of a creature that He created?
Mm.
How can an all-seeing force, which in the Bible it says that Satan is an eternal being, he cannot be killed. If you are the only all-seeing force, of course you would tell your followers to worship you, because if you are a demon and you're sucking energy off of people, you need that life force to exist. The Maverick approach in the building. Let's go.
Shout out Maverick, man. Shout out Maverick. But I gotta ask,
Now
brother.
listen to now. I'm gonna finish with this part. I'm gonna give it to Eric. Us as a species have to examine the evidence presented to us, use a global think tank to reach a solid conclusion. Because this is what governments do. When you see the United Nations meetings, they're having global think tanks to make group decisions. If we, the people, the taxpayers, those who vote to put people in power, if we are not aligned, they can do anything to us. I'm going to pass it to Eric.
Hope my sound is okay.
You back.
Shout out Maverick, man. I'm a huge fan, man. Welcome to the live, man. Yo, I wanna touch on the Epstein files, bro.
Uh-oh.
These guys have given us the runaround of the century. Man, I have waited with bated breath for the Epstein files to come out and for us to get a clear picture of exactly what was happening. But I think it's so far reaching that across the divide, whether red, whether blue, and of course, even globally, we're talking about Israel, we're talking about Middle East. I think the people who are caught up in those files are. It behooves the powers that be to come together to just block that shit from coming out, bro. And Do you see a point in time where humanity gets to find out exactly what was happening on Epstein Island? And do you think that reshapes humanity? Here's my question. If a video comes out of someone we know, say an Obama or a Clinton or a Trump, engaging in pedophilia, and it's proven to be a fact, does that change the trajectory of humanity? Or are we so desensitized that we'll get shocked for one day and move on?
Great question. And I'll answer this as blunt as I can. Being a world traveler, I realized that America's population is not the same as a here in Kenya. It's not the same anywhere because the matrix is most powerful in America. As I live here in this country, they recently had passed a law, the cybersecurity bill, which really took away. Thank you, Kyrie Morales, $5 super chat. Love you so much. Thank you, Queen. Let me go ahead and give you your moderator. You got your wrench. Here's the issue. When they passed this law in Kenya, they stormed the Kenyan Parliament building. They rescinded that law.
We tore shit up.
Look at Venezuela. Look at Malaysia. Look at these other countries where we've seen government people having to literally escape from being lynched. If you want to trap a group of people and you're a death cult where their oppression and suffering feeds whoever you're worshiping, you will keep them separated. This is what we are witnessing right now. Whoever built those pyramids across the globe, there was a global civilization. Either nature destroyed them or they destroyed themselves. But we all can agree that there was a flood that took place. How is it that we map all of these places? We even trying to map space. We try to map the DMT realm, but we have not mapped our ocean floors. But we can see ruins on every ocean floor, on every coast of every country. We see ruins from a previous civilization. Because if you want to hide the truth, you just say, hey, nothing to see here, folks. Just like we just seen Trump try to do with the Epstein files. And then he brought up he's going to declassify the Amelia Earhart files in order to distract people from that, simply because Trump doesn't want people to know that Epstein played a role in reverse engineering crash non-human technology. His hands was on the Harvard science program, MIT science program. He would have some of the most prolific minds on our planet gather on his island for scientific research.
Can I say something around that?
Yes, sir, brother.
I challenge everyone in the live to please go watch the Diary of a CEO interview, the latest one with Eric Weinstein, and listen to the end, the last, I think, about 36 minutes.
Yo,
Eric,
one of the moderators, find that interview and put it in the chat, please.
Eric Weinstein Eric Weinstein is one of the most brilliant minds we have in the world. And
They killed his wife also.
He talks about how he was in shock just how much Jeffrey Epstein knew him and all his work. And part of his work was anti-gravity. These guys were working on anti-gravity. So we all know that most of the idea around anti-gravity has been tied to foreign craft or alien craft. So reverse engineering. So what you're saying definitely has some truth. So we might be thinking it's about just, I think the pedophilia ring could be the secondary thing, but there's a lot more that meets the eye. I just wonder, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in a backroom meeting of the guys who really know what happened with Epstein and have all the info and are trying to scuttle the information from reaching the masses. And do you think it ever reaches the masses? Because we're living in the age of technology. I even think the advent of AI video generation was done and advanced to create plausible deniability for when the videos actually do come out. I feel they funded it wholeheartedly and they're like, yo, let's make, because the moment the Epstein thing became mainstream knowledge, I remember that's when deepfake started. And deepfakes now have advanced to the point where we could literally have an AI generated BigHomieCC and Eric and almost look indistinguishable from the real us. So when the footage comes out of Clinton sucking on a young underage PP, they're gonna say that's AI.
Well said, well said. And Maverick Approach always stresses that he believes that the government has had AI for a long time. CIA guys go on Joe Rogan and say that private military is 20 years ahead of what they release.
50.
Whistleblower Matthew Brown comes out and says that the United States government murdered 2 sentient AIs. And they use a current one to help govern and predict world events. There was a country in the Middle East, I believe, who just used the AI, elected it as part of parliament to
I saw
fight corruption. Also, you got to think about this as well. If you were a guy who had a deformed penis, and all throughout my research, in order to get information from these higher level beings, you have to sacrifice, trade, or give up something. Why kill Epstein now when he went to jail for this same crime in 2009? Why kill him now? If the Democrats had dirt that they could put Trump on that island with girls underage, they would have been put it up. We just seen Trump say that there was nothing there, it was a hoax, and now they're going to release the files. This is a civil war taking place within our government in the United States of America, all about people who don't want to get their employers locked up and risk their life, but at the same time, they want the information to come out because they're sitting on technology that can heal the earth and make us a spacefaring civilization. Elon Musk had no choice but to help Trump get into office, because if Kamala got into office, he would have lost that SpaceX contract. He would have never got to Mars. Elon knows that he wants a demonic-free organization. He got to go to Mars. He got to be the first one there to set up shop. I got to do another show here in about 5 minutes. We made it to an hour. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Question everything. The truth is stranger than fiction. Stay tuned, because me and Eric will be going live again very soon. I'll be filming with him in Nairobi in less than 48 hours. Thank you to everybody who donated a super chat. Shout out Mr. Taylor, $20 super chat. Damn, we running it up. Shout out to BigHomieCC, Free Dugard, my brother Low End 275. Yes, I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for the donations. All donations go toward us being able to bring y'all this content, freeing people from sexual slavery, and helping people who have been trafficked. Thank y'all again. Eric, you want to say something before we get out of here?
I just want to say thanks to everyone who was in the live. Thanks for all the donations. I agree with Big Homie, man. Keep your mind. Don't trust anything you see in mainstream media. A lot of it is lies. Sometimes I know it's hard because we all have jobs, we all have crafts that we ply. But once in a while, unplug from the matrix and actually seek information. Escape that loop once in a while. And you can only do it with information. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I can't wait for Monday. We shoot our episode. If you haven't watched our episode so far, go check out Off the Grid with Every Other Time with Eric. Go check out Every Other Time with Eric on YouTube. BigHomieCC episodes and many more, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to leave y'all with one soundbite. In the biblical text, it says fallen angels came down, they bred with humans, and they created giants. Abraham Lincoln himself has a quote about the extinct giants that are in the circular burial mounds all across the United States of America. The Giant of Kandahar is a story that is very, very factual. Question everything. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all next time. We out.
Thank you, man.